Good afternoon, fellow Americans, known once again as Hebrew Israelites. The Bible states that Jesus had white hair, the texture of lamb's wool, similar to mine. His feet was the color of burnt brass and bronze. When you look at Jesus and you look at me, you see a story in the Bible that is now complete. There is no if, and, buts, or maybes. Jesus and I look quite the same. In accordance with the Bible, I can honestly say that slavery was my karma of my people for disobedience. My people were forewarned by Moses of what would happen if we did not follow God's 10 commandments. And the punishment, as described by Moses, was slavery. There is no doubt about that. Moses obviously looked like me as well. God sent Moses into Egypt. God sent Moses into Egypt to rescue his people. When they were rescued, that is when they were forewarned. So it was not so much a curse as it was karma. You see, a curse is when you've done nothing wrong and evil happens to you. Karma is when you have been forewarned and something happens to you. I could go more into detail about karma, but I'm going to save that for another post. Deuteronomy 28. It's all in Deuteronomy 28. Now, what others call themselves is not of my concern. What other people call themselves is not of my concern. And I can honestly say, their God, their Jesus, is not my God or my Jesus. But this is even a matter of debate. Why? Because eventually, what is shall be by God's will. So why should I be concerned? There is no debate. There is no debate whatsoever. Deuteronomy 28 explains it all. Am I going to argue and fuss and fight about who I am? That would make no sense. White supremacists have claimed themselves to be the master race. Israelis have also claimed themselves to be the master race. However, nothing in the Bible supports any of their claim. Whether they call themselves a white Jew or whether they call themselves masters of the universe, it doesn't matter. The reality of the situation is that they thought life started in Europe. Thru started in Africa. They thought they were the first people on earth. Thru, we are the mothers and fathers of civilization. And if you believe that God is a perfect God and God knows all, then that first creation of God would be the real thing. You see, I don't have to debate you. In 1936, in front of Hitler, we proved he was not the master race. Now you have Israelis proclaiming to be the master race. But the facts state that they are simply a welfare state of the United States. We give them approximately $2.6 billion a year. And I don't know why, because they have over a $3 billion surplus. I don't think that is qualification for being the master race. But then again, what you believe and what you say is none of my concern. Because my God rescues people from slavery. He does not enslave people. The reason why my people were enslaved was because we broke the 10 Commandments. And according to the Bible, that makes us God's chosen people. But even if you further investigate the situation, the questions that white Americans ask themselves is, how have African Americans, now known as Hebrew Israelite, endured all the trials and tribulations and the satanic treatment that you put on us? Could any other people survive that? They would have to be God's chosen people. I mean, we dominated sports, and we knew music had a beat. All of this makes us complete. But see, we don't have to brag and say we this or that. We've proven ourselves over and over again. I mean, even you say we built this country. But according to you, the first man who died for this country was a black man, Crispus Attucks. How can that be? What strange dichotomy is this? I'm going to cut this short by simply saying, I don't care who you call yourself. I don't care who you think you are. What is, and by the will of God it shall be. You cry, especially Israelis, you cry and get upset and call this stuff anti-Semitism. And yet, you insult my people. You call us monkeys. Is it because our skin is black? That's what white supremacists say. But if you rub the fur back on a primate, you'll find that the primate skin is the color of yours, not mine. So you see, I really don't care what you say, what you do, or what you think. I am who I am, and nothing is going to change that. Nothing is going to change that. Namaste. Peace to you all. But I just want to reiterate one more time. I don't care who you think you are. It's none of my business. You think what you want to think. I don't care. You can jump on Whoopi Goldberg. You can jump on Kyrie. None of that matters to me. None of it. After what I've endured at the hands of you both, you have some nerve not paying reparations to me. You see, because we live in an industrialized country, it does not make you civilized. Industrialized does not make you civilized. And by the way, most of what you consider industrialized, we made it. You put your name on it because you said slaves couldn't own this and couldn't own that. And whatever a slave made, his master took credit for it. Well, you may take credit for it, but that doesn't mean you have the intelligence to make it. You may take credit for it, but what is credit for something that you did not do, but a lie? So, hey, do what you want. Say what you want. But in the end, it's God's going to be the one to decide who is God's chosen people. And I'm betting my soul that it's me.